Yeah.
Yeah, I
Uh,
agree.
Hello, dance friends. Welcome. Our show tonight, the name has changed. It started off with Dancing Through Tough Times, and we've done 10 episodes. Now we are calling it Dancing Through New Times because we're pulling up our bootstraps and we're figuring out how to deal and how to bring dance to kids, no matter what circumstances are tossed in front of us. Um, Tonight we have three guests I'm excited to bring in. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
So this is Laura, Krista, and Erika. Erika, I'll start with you. Tell our viewers who you are, where your school is, and how long you've been at it.
Okay, I am Erika Hogan. Hello, everyone. My studio is New Attitude Performing Arts Center, and we are located in Rock Hill, South Carolina, and Locust, North Carolina. And this is our 11th season.
Excellent. Welcome, Erika. Krista.
Hi, I'm Krista Berry-Fairchild. I live in Central Ohio, just outside of Metro Columbus in Marysville. Um, our studio is called Energy Arts Dance, and my mom started it 29 years ago. I bought the studio this last summer, so this is my first year owning the studio, my 19th year teaching at the studio.
Perfect year to take over the business, my friend.
I couldn't have asked for a better year to start out.
I know your mom. Is she still involved? Is she teaching?
She is. Yep. My mom is teaching currently 16 classes on Zoom every week, and she's killing it.
Excellent. Laura, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, I'm Laura Carroll, and our studio is Ann Carroll School of Dance. It was started in 1970 by my former mother-in-law, and I've owned it. I'm in my 8th year of owning it, and we are located in Brentwood, Tennessee, which is just about 20 minutes south of Nashville.
Excellent. So we have a lot of diversity in where everybody's coming from tonight. That will make this interesting. I want to start with this question. Are you all virtual? Not if, yeah. Start with you, Erika. What choices have you made to stay in touch with your dancers?
So we do a lot of things, and in addition to our classes, of course, we have our Zoom classes. We do a bedtime story every Thursday night. We have a lot of different activities that we've done. We did a pet parade where we got to meet all of the kids' pets. We did a blindfold makeup challenge where either the mom or the dancer was blindfolded and they did the other person's stage makeup. And tomorrow night, actually, I have a mom's wine down where we're going to get a glass of wine and just talk about what's going on.
I love it. I'd like to follow up on that. Is it like in your mind all about keeping this community together?
Yes, 100%. I think, especially for the kids, while we're separated, they're not getting the social interaction that they're used to. So I want to provide as much of that as I can in addition to their dance classes.
So I am going around the table, but Eric, I want one more follow-up. Do you think that your kids are as excited to dance? I hope I'm asking this right. Or even more excited to just hang out with each other?
I think sometimes they're more excited to hang out with each other, just to get to see each other. They started typing in the chat box and I had to let them know that I could read what they were saying too. So I think they're really excited to still be able to see each other as well.
Yeah, I wanted to make the point that it isn't always about standing up and giving that class that is not so easy to do. Sometimes it's about hanging out with the kids or letting them hang out with each other.
Exactly.
Krista, what are you doing to keep your studio going and communicate?
When we first knew that we were going to have to shut down the physical location of the studio, that was March 14th. And the first week I gave my staff, we kind of came up with a plan. One week we came in that week because we were not still stay at home at that point. We filmed all our recital dances, and then next week we went straight into Zoom classes. So we do run our full schedule of Zoom classes, which I think almost everybody is doing at this point. I have had to kind of reinvent the wheel. I don't love to be in the spotlight, but we are having story time with Miss Krista. We are having baking classes with Miss Krista that the kids love. We've done scavenger hunts. We've done escape rooms. We are doing a princess party this Saturday in their own house. So Miss Krista is dressing like a princess, which I have to tell you is really out of my comfort zone. But I have been so touched with how much we are personally connecting with the kids, and that is something that I never thought that we would do. I see we're having almost 90% still coming to every week of Zoom classes. So the kids want to see us, and I didn't realize how much I personally would miss dance when this first happened. And that was a big one for me. Oh, you're muted.
Before I go to you, Laura, Erika, how much of your enrollment did you maintain?
I've maintained about 96% enrollment.
That's awesome.
Yes. What day did you begin? I know that for Krista it was, did you say the 13th of March?
Yep, 13th of March, yep.
How long have you been at it?
March 19th was our last day in the studio, and because we had seen what was going on across the country, so on the 20th we were able to start online.
Proud of you. Laura, tell me about what you're using to reach your students.
We're doing Zoom classes, and we also have a virtual studio with pre-recorded, and I also put the recordings of the Zoom classes in the Dropbox. So if people couldn't come to that exact time, they can still take the class or retake it if they wanted to work on a combination or something like that. We're not doing our full schedule. The first week we started with 11 classes, and now we're running close to 40 a week. But we're offering every level of jazz, tap, ballet, contemporary, hip hop. But we're letting people take as many classes as they want. We're letting siblings join in, parents join in, and I just think it's a special time, and that calls for special classes. I think that's what we're all kind of thinking, like, let's do something special, have something to look forward to. So we've had a pet dance party. We had a chicken and a bearded dragon come. I said, I'm never going to forget this.
No, I want to jump in and hear everything you have to say, but I want our viewers to hear this and you guys to hear this. Do you know, Krista, how you said this is out of your comfort zone? Do you know how much we're going to grow in confidence level and taking hold of who we are and what our businesses are about because we were forced to do what we're doing? Like, I keep waiting for the dance teacher to post that she's got her new morning kid show going on. Yes. Because I'm seeing puppeteers, I'm seeing tumbling dinosaurs, I'm seeing all of this, and I'm thinking, whoa, the potential is big. Laura, I interrupted. Where were we?
So we had a pet dance party. We have a family dance jam every week. We're doing a virtual musical with our musical theater kids. That is cool. That's really fun and neat, something really different. And we have yoga for dancers and some of the things that we can't offer on a regular basis just because there's not enough time or space to do it. We're taking this opportunity to do it now.
Awesome. I want to ask you, anybody can jump in first on this question. Did most parents support your efforts, or were there some that made you kind of at points feel like, why am I doing this?
For our parents, we had overwhelming positivity. We've only lost 3 students since we started all of this, and continual positive. I haven't had almost any negative feedback. I say that with the caveat, I think it's going to get a little bit harder as we go forward. At first, everyone loved Zoom. People still do love it, but we'll see. I'm waiting.
Comments on that last question, Laura?
Yeah, I had a really, really good response right off the bat. I had a couple of people, I only had one person be negative, and I thought that was really good. And it was really great because I didn't even dwell on it, because it was like, I have too much to do. I can't even sit here and worry about this person right now. I wish them well and all of that. But everybody's been very supportive. I have had parents that have lost their jobs, and I have told them they still are, their kids are to dance.
You figure out a way.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, yes, absolutely. And yeah, it's been very positive. I've had everybody, even if they have a question or they don't understand how it works, they've still been very, very nice about it. So I'm very thankful for that.
Erika, what's your feedback?
Same here. Everybody's been very, very positive. We because I think South Carolina was maybe, I don't want to say we were last, but we had some notice from what was going on. So I was able to send out videos to parents prior to, hey, should we shut down? This is what's going to happen. We are working on plans A, B, C, and D. So I think everybody was prepped for it. But I'm with Krista. I do worry a little bit. Will we still have the same excitement at the end of June for online classes?
But can I throw something out to you? Because I wonder the same thing. But my mind as a businessman goes to, could I not have 30 new students by the end of June if I started selling my virtual products some way?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible. I was aware that this week, just because I could feel people just in the country as a whole getting restless, I really had a feeling like this week, okay, this is going to start to trickle down with our dance families. They're going to start to want to know, what are you going to do moving forward? When's your recital? What is going to happen? Should we even bother to continue? So I was kind of mentally prepared for that. And I've had a few people ask me, but in the sweetest, most kind way. But yes, I feel like the change is coming, and we got to stay ahead of it.
Agreed. I hate to dabble in this because nobody has the definitive answer. And when you're laughing now, you'll get what I'm about to say. I've been talking to town hall meetings on this topic. Nobody has the same idea, by the way. Here goes the question. What are you thinking about for recital? I'll go in a different order. Krista, you had a biggest smile and laugh, so I'm starting with you.
My first reaction, it's always smile, like if I have no idea what I'm talking about. So we have about 5 different idea plans, just kind of germinating. My recital is always Mother's Day weekend, so we do end early here. And then we break for the summer, we do some summer stuff. So with knowing that possibly the end of June might be our very first window, and I was pretty sure that that's where we were going to go about 2 weeks ago. And now, as we said, at the end of April, I don't know that that's going to be possible. So, we've kicked around outdoor, we've kicked around, very small, very compact, quick shows. Our recital does have a lot of production numbers where all the kids dance together. We're kind of unusual. All of our rec kids will dance in big production numbers. So it's going to be different. I do know that I owe it to my kids to give them something. So I don't know what that looks like. I don't know when it is. But I want them to be on a stage with an audience at some point. So that's our goal. You're muted again.
I'm going to hear the other two, but I want to tell you the best one I heard yesterday was drive-in movie theater.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
I thought it was good because they could all stay in their cars and bring their kids up one at a time, and the applause could be the honking of the horns. And I'm thinking to myself, if someone can pull that off.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
It would be.
Or creating a video of everybody somehow bringing it together and putting that up on a drive-in
Yep.
screen. Okay, what are you thinking, Erika?
We've thought the same thing with the drive-in movie. We've thought about renting one of the huge outdoor projectors and setting up a small stage and having the kids dance and then project it onto that. We've also thought the same, several mini shows, and then we would just live stream our awards. We do a finale and awards at the end of every show, and we would just live stream that later. We've thought about the virtual route, everything. Yeah, there's so many options. It's so up in the air.
I want to say that I really wanted you guys to get to this point because I think there's a lot of studio owners and teachers who are listening that think they should have the answer, or even parents who may be listening who think that we should have the answer. The answer is the show must go on because that's who we are. How that show is yet to be determined. And we'll be more creative than ever before. What are you thinking, Laura?
Well, this year was our 50th anniversary recital. So a lot of people are reaching out to me saying, "Oh, you must be so disappointed." And you know what? I'm really not. I'm surprised, but I'm just not. I'm going back to basics and thinking, okay, why do we do a recital in the first place? We do a recital for the kids. It's for the kids. It's all about them. So that's taken my head like to a whole other place, which I think I'm going to be able to take with me forward. But I feel we've been talking about it this week, my leadership team and we have like 3 possibilities. We know our shows are going to be short. We're going to do like half-hour shows. And we know we're going to have an entrance and an exit plan so that people aren't congregating. We know that. And that's either going to happen at an outdoor amphitheater where people can be spread out, or in a tent in our parking lot, or if last resort, we do, each kid puts on their costume and they do their dance for their parents in the studio and we traffic it. But we feel like we need to be in control of the people coming and going and the kids and how many kids are together and all of that. So we know the kids are going to get a show. We're not sure exactly when. We have a couple of dates in mind. We know they're going to get a show, but that's what we're looking at right now.
Awesome.
I told my older dancers that dances don't have an expiration date. They were very worried about when they'd be able to compete and perform. And I told them these dances, they don't expire. We can still use them at any time moving forward. So that's kind of settled the nerves of the older ones.
Yeah, I think we need to explain to some of the kids what we're thinking and why we take the steps that we take. We might take for granted as adults why we're doing what we're doing, but I'm not sure that the kids grasp it. My saying to everybody is, no worries, the show must go on.
Right.
And really, that's not, you can't say more than that.
Right.
So how do you feel emotionally? Has it been a roller coaster? And what has the last week or two been like in particular? Erika.
I constantly feel like the duck that looks calm on the surface and underneath their feet are just moving. I feel like that's what it's been. It's almost, if I take it personally, the most exhausting part has been trying to remain so much more positive and energetic about it for the parents and for the kids, because they're lost and confused. I have plans in my head, but like you were saying, they don't all know what they are. So I'm having to really suppress any doubts or fears or uncertainty that I have to constantly project to them. So that's kind of been tiring, but I'm also really excited about it and proud that we as a dance community have been able to come together and kind of figure it all out together.
Erika, what you just described was one of the first things I talked about when this happened was you have to be a leader. If you didn't realize you were a leader before, it should have smacked you as soon as this started, because that's what people are looking for. They're not looking for technique. They're looking for a leader who will give them answers, who will make them feel secure, who will give them some normalcy in a world that is not normal. That's how simple what we have to offer is. You're a leader. Just one, in case you didn't know that. I'm patting you on the back there. And you can pat yourself on the back. I get fly swatters and allow people to pat themselves on the back. But then someone asked me what a fly swatter was. So then I said, okay, I can't say that anymore. Krista, strength, up and down, last week especially.
Yeah, I feel like I've said this before to different friends that I think I go through the 5 stages of grief like daily, like anger, despair, bargaining, like acceptance. And this, so our schools were canceled this week for the rest of the year. And I did see a major change in the kids this week as we now face, nothing more. All spring sports were canceled. And I think we all in the back of our minds knew that was coming, but when it came down that it was for sure, and then they did go ahead and add in that fall would also not be the same. That was hard. I have one of my things that I think I'm most grateful for is for my dance friends. I have a very close best friend that owns a studio that we do a lot of partnerships with. Ree knows who it is, and
tell everybody his name.
It's Kyle Osting. He's one of my best friends, and we lean on each other a lot. He pops into my Zooms. I pop into his Zooms. Our dancers are close. We live about 2.5 hours away from each other, and that's been a huge source of strength for me. And so, yeah.
Great. We need each other right now. Laura, what's the journey been like?
I think at first I was just so, focused on, I've got to get these classes. I've got to have something. I need to have some answers, be in front of it. And so I was going like that. And then all of a sudden it was going. And then I was like, oh my gosh, how are we going to continue to do this? How are we going to maintain this? And I thought, there's no way that my energy level is going to be able to, stay where it's at. And so I did okay at first, and then I hit rock bottom. Once we realized that it was really going to go on for a lot longer, I really hit a wall. And I spent one whole Sunday just crying, like the whole day crying. And, that was hard. And then the next day I said, okay, well, I got to make a decision here of how I'm going to continue on with this. And so I've kind of been going up as I go and taking time to be proud of our dancers, our dance community, and proud of myself. And that's hard for me to say, but it's not in this situation. I feel really proud. So I guess if I were to say overall, I do feel proud.
I love it. And I saw Erika with a big smile and a nod when you said that. Do you feel that way, pride?
Yes. It's what we're doing is huge. And the amount of time that we were able to turn our complete business models around is beyond impressive. And I hope everybody watching takes a minute to sit back and really realize what we've done and take that pause to just be proud.
Big corporations couldn't do what we did.
I think the dance community is one of the only communities that has completely overhauled and is still reaching out to the kids completely on a daily basis. I've been so proud of seeing just friends from all over the country doing the exact same things. It's really amazing to me.
This may be a little early to ask, but we broke the ice. I need you to know I didn't ask anybody about recitals for 6 weeks because I didn't want people to think about it. All right. But I needed to get there today to let everybody know that there is no sure answer yet. Here's my next question, thinking out. You going to run some summer programs virtually? Are you making plans to do that? Erika?
Right now, if we're still online, I will probably try to continue with the schedule that we have now and just as few changes as possible. People, because we've already rearranged our schedule a little bit to accommodate online. And I think as people start to come into their schedules, we'll just leave it the same and kind of continue the year.
Really? Right through?
Yes.
If you can.
If I can, yes.
Do you have summer camps that you normally do?
Normally we do, and I think we've kind of, in our breakout sessions that we've talked about, like our princess parties and things, we've kind of been doing mini versions of that throughout. So I'll keep that going. We may add some things. We may have a themed week, maybe, yeah, but I'll probably just keep it going.
Yeah. This is what I want to say, why I brought this up. I think we can do these summer camps, especially with the kids virtually. And I think we could come up with creative ways to get them the tools they need for the crafts, and that it could become this big community effort. And I could register my kid at Erika's studio because my kid's little cousin is at Erika's studio and could take the same camp. Mm-hmm. And that we have to keep an open mind to the possibilities of using the tools that we have available to us. What are you thinking, Krista?
So we usually do run princess camps. We don't run a ton of older kids stuff in the summer. So we are looking at running some virtual things. I think we're going to maybe have some success doing some out of the box type of ideas. We've been trying to I have a really awesome staff. They're really the ones that come up with a lot of great ideas. And so I'm hoping that I haven't really fully fledged summer out.
Okay.
So we'll see. But we will be doing some stuff. And I'm really excited about the idea of doing stuff that's totally different than what we've ever done before, either virtually or outside.
Yeah, we're open.
Right.
Laura, what are you thinking?
Well, we've just started having that discussion because we are hoping that we are going to extend our regular year. So that cuts into when we would normally have camps. But I'm thinking same thing, kind of bridging the gap. Hopefully we could have some smaller numbers actually at the studio, and then some Zoom classes as well, some Zoom camps as well, and having that option for people.
Awesome. Erika, anybody could jump in on this, but I wrote down 2 words when you were talking about how you've had to be the leader, and one was energy and the other was upbeat. And there were many more words. For our viewers, explain that it's okay to not feel that way when you're by yourself, and that you can dig it up because you're in this, I'll call it show business, but I don't mean that in a bad way. Tell them.
It's totally fine. I have left Zoom classes completely exhausted and overwhelmed. Some days we've had good retention, but I'm scared. My heart races every time I open my email, just because you never know what's going to be in there. I think the first week I might have eaten all of my feelings all day long, every day. And so, yeah, we turn it on, and then it's self-care is still important. Acknowledging how you feel outside of everything is still important, and finding support wherever you can is extremely important.
How do you, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I feel like when this first happened, I felt like the word gentle kept coming to me. And I kept thinking, I need to be gentle with people. I need to be gentle with my staff because I don't know how they're going to feel. They could be scared. I know, some of my staff members, were, nervous about this whole situation and what it would mean for them and their families. And I wanted to be gentle with them and not go, okay, everybody, let's Zoom. And I don't even know what I'm going to do for childcare. Or, I wanted to make sure I was gentle. And then I thought I need to also be gentle with my clients because I don't know what they're going through. And if they feel like they need to drop for the year, then that's okay. It's all right. I still love you. Come back in the fall. We want you to be with us. You're a part of our family. And then also I extended that to myself to say, okay, I need to be gentle with myself as well, even though I'm really super hard on myself all the time. But I wanted to say, it's okay if you feel bad one day, it's okay. You don't have to. And when we get to, all of my staff feels like when we get to Zoom time, it's like, it's show time. Like we call it our show, we're like, oh, I got a show. I got to go. My show is coming on.
That's what this is for me, the people who work for me. When I was going live anyway, they would say, have a good show tonight. I'd start laughing because I didn't know I was doing a show. What would you say, Krista, to people who are working hard to keep up the right attitude, but maybe having a tough time?
I agree with Laura. Like when we first started, my goal was to keep my teachers employed, keep the ship on the water, keep going forward. So I focused all that energy on there. And then I think it's okay to realize, to step back and think that you can't physically do it all, and you can't emotionally do it all. I was really good until last week, and last week was kind of my down the hill kind of week. I realized this was going to go on way longer than I ever thought it was going to be, and just the idea that I felt like I was losing momentum. I had all these great ideas, and then all of a sudden it was like I hit a wall, and I don't know where we're going. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know how long we can sustain this. And that's where having a good support system is really important. Between my faculty and dance friends, I try not to let my kids see me go down kind of that. They do see it, but I try to keep that as much because they've had a lot of upheaval too. So.
Yeah. It's show business. I'll say it one more time.
It is.
So,
Turns on. It's
yeah, if we were to walk out on a stage, we'd look the part because we were on a stage and our mind would automatically know what to do. It's all our stage right now. Mm-hmm. Every Zoom class, everything we put out there in public, it's our stage. And that doesn't mean that everybody's always happy. Okay, so tell me, this is a new question. I hope it works. Tell me a moment, Erika, over the last how many weeks you've been doing this, where you looked and you said, I love what I do.
There's actually been a few, but I'll keep it short. One, we do a dinosaur dance at the end of all of our preschool classes. And I looked up on one of them and every brother, sister, mom, dad, cousin, uncle had joined in, and they were marching in a circle around the house and doing all the movements and the motions. And my heart was overflowing. And then during one of our story times, I was telling the kids good night, and they were all just, good night, Miss Erika. We love you. We miss you. Can we hear another story? And it just, to me, those moments are almost more than a kid getting a perfect double pirouette in her kitchen, because she can learn that anytime. But these other connections are so fulfilling.
Plus, she just knocked the sugar bowl off the counter when she did it. What about you, Krista?
I think this was really good for me, this whole, not that I ever want to go through this again, because I don't, but it really solidified why I do what I do. And sorry if I cry. I
You
feel like
won't be. You won't be the first.
um, the first time that I got on with my little kids, because I'd seen the team was on Zoom, and it was so good to see them. And those are the kids that, you know, I'm most connected with. But the little kids, when they bring their dogs and their cats and Miss Krista doesn't like pets, so everyone brings their pet to class because Miss Krista doesn't like to see our and so we make a big deal. Oh no, don't bring Kitty in, and that was when I really knew, like, the connection with the kids is why we do what we do.
And no, as hard as this is, we're living in history. So these kids who are so young now, I wish I could think of a better word for that. You're plastered in their memory forever. We don't realize that as hard as it is for seniors right now, as hard as it is for everybody who had something planned.
Right.
This history that we're living through will overpower the disappointment and the things that we didn't do, if it makes sense. Laura.
Well, oh gosh, I've had a lot of moments too. I feel like every day I'm just so thankful. I'm just so thankful that I get to do this. And I think I've realized that, I mean, I teach dance, but what I really want to do, or why I do it, is because I want to connect with people and be a part of their journey and be a part of their growth, and my staff too. I mean, sometimes I'm on a Zoom with one of my staff members and I think, oh my gosh, my kids are so lucky that they have this person for a teacher. How amazing is that? But I think really awesome moments for me would be, you know, we have this family dance jam every week, and it's myself and another teacher, Miss Jeannie. We do it together, and I thought the younger teachers might want to do that, but no, the two old ladies are doing it. And so so we do it. We just make it fun every week, and we tell people, hey, tune in. Even if you don't want to dance, you can see two old broads kick their legs up. And last night we had it, and it was so fun. People have started going extravagant, like wearing costumes and bringing disco balls, and just that, like, connection, I think, for me, just makes me go, wow, this is so fun. And the connection I get to have with Jeannie when we're teaching that, it's really, really joyful.
Yeah. Thank you, you guys. I need you to know that this week, as I talk to studio owners and just across the country, was tough. And when we came into this conversation today, I wanted to do something to uplift people. If anything today, I hope that if you're watching, you realize we're all in the same place, and we all have to recognize what it is that we're grateful for, because that gives us the ability to pull up our bootstraps and move on. And if we have to evolve and change from what we were 6 weeks ago or 5 weeks ago, we have to be ready to do it. And we can. There's nobody stronger than dance people who have a little gypsy blood rolling through them, and they keep surviving. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Give everybody a wave.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ree. Thank you. Nice to meet you, ladies.
Nice to meet you. Thanks, Ree.